welcome to the Slow Rhythm Home. My name is Chris, and on this channel I am sharing my slow life and the rhythms of living here in the mountains. I plan on sharing videos of gardening and raising chickens, from traditional crafting to building projects, and a little bit about me. I'm coming over to YouTube from Instagram. I've had a handmade jewelry business for the past 6 years, which has been a lot of fun, but I have been feeling the urge to change it up a bit. And I've always been a multi-passionate artist, and as my lifestyle has been evolving, I'm feeling I'm being drawn back into some of those traditional crafts and woodworking and weaving and things like that. So if you're interested in that kind of lifestyle, then stay tuned for more videos. And if you're listening to this first video, thank you so much for being here, and I can't wait to share more videos with you. So stay tuned. And here I'm just mixing up some sourdough starter and some flour together to make some sourdough bread. This is probably my favorite part of the process when I get my hands messy. And who doesn't love buttery sourdough bread in the fall? It's in high demand in our household this time of year. And here I'm just doing some stretch and folds to really get that gluten developed. Hopefully have a really nice loaf of sourdough bread. And now we're going to let the dough rest for a little bit. Yum! Very few things compare to hot bread that's fresh out of the oven. And putting bouquets of flowers around my house I find really lifts up my mood. And this is Russian sage, and it smells so good. So I'm really that kind of girl that likes to bring the outdoors into my home. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of basket weaving, pine needle basket weaving. So the other day I was thinking about how I don't have anything designated to really collect my chicken eggs in, and I thought a pine needle basket would be perfect for that. So yeah, I'm working on this basket here, and as you can see, it's pretty sturdy, and the stitches are pretty tight and pretty neat. So this is more of a functional piece, and it's really not made to be aesthetically pleasing. Let's just say that. It's more of has a purpose kind of piece. But I thought I would show you some of my funner baskets that I've made. This is actually my first pine needle basket that I ever made, and it's made with natural raffia that's dyed. And you can get this color in natural if you don't want it dyed. And it has a tiger's eye stone in there, and I was really excited when I finished this basket. It was my first pine needle basket, so that was really cool. So this next one that I actually made this basket along the Kauai River. So my family and I were camping in Sequoia, seeing the big giant trees, and there's a river, the Kauai River, that runs through. And I wove this basket alongside the river. I love weaving baskets out in nature. There's just such a connection that you get. It's really it's I don't think a lot of things compare to it, really. So yeah, this was a cool basket. Obviously a more decorative piece. And then here's another basket I was experimenting with. I put a geode in the middle and then had some amethyst around throughout it. It's just a basket when I was like a newer basket weaver. So yeah, so you can just have fun with them. Oh yeah, don't forget this one. This is my favorite one that I made. I made this one a couple years ago, and I actually dyed the pine needles black. So that's another thing you can do. You can dye your pine needles, and there's a lot more design going on in this piece. But obviously, a decorative piece. This is one that I hang on my wall in my house, and then I can hang it right here. So yeah, this was definitely my favorite piece that I've made. But in this video, I'm just gonna show you a little bit of how I just make a basic pine needle basket. And maybe one day I would like to have a tutorial on how to make a basket on this channel, because I do feel like it's a really good skill to learn. Not only the connection you get to the earth when you're weaving it, and knowing that you actually collected those needles. I mean, for me to have the pine trees that produce those long needles, that's, to me, is so cool to collect the needles and then make something so natural that's also has a purpose. I think that's just so cool. So I think it's a really excellent skill to learn, and I'll be showing you some of the process of how to make it now. So here I am just demonstrating how I'm making a pine needle basket, but in the future, like I said, I would like to have a tutorial on how to do this on this channel. But here I am just making sure my stitches are nice and tight. I really find that with this type of crafting, you have to have the right tension. You don't want to pull too tight because you can break the pine needles, but you also don't want to not pull tight enough, because then you'll have loose stitches, which results in a loose basket. When the pine needles dry, the basket will loosen up quite a bit, so that's why you want to have the correct tension when weaving your pine needle basket. It seems like it's hard at first, but I promise you, you do get used to it and you do figure out the right tension. But that does take a lot of practice and several attempts, but it is a very satisfying craft to do. And every so often you do need to add new pine needles to your bundle. That way you can have the same thickness throughout weaving your basket. I would normally be weaving this outside, but today was a rainy day. I really do prefer weaving pine needle baskets outside, but the kitchen table will have to do. Here I am just continuing to add pine needles so that I have enough to continue my basket. I'll update you when this basket is completed. Like I said, I'm going to be using it for collecting my chicken eggs, and it's going to have poopy eggs in it, so nothing too fancy with this basket. biggest zucchini that we've ever grown. It's like the size of a baby. And then this is a pretty big one too. Oh my goodness. What am I gonna do with these?